Hey, psychic friends! This one's for people who already pick up on things. Not just ideas and not just hunches, but repeated, undeniable experiences. The question isn't anymore are cognitive abilities real? The question is, how do you get better at it and actually enjoy doing it? Because these abilities are fun, wild, and yes, totally taken seriously. All of this starts with attention. Your mind already notices patterns, cycles, and repeating behaviors. Sometimes it whispers them to you subtly, and sometimes they just drop in fully formed. Paying attention to these impressions, writing them down, noticing how they arrive, and seeing what actually unfolds is how you get better. This isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about building your own skill, like playing an instrument. Practice, observation, feedback. And yes, part of that is getting nerdy about the symbols. If you want to strengthen the channel that works with imagery or symbolic impressions, you got to really dig into the symbols. They mean to you, how they show up in patterns, and how they relate to outcomes. Sometimes these impressions don't arrive gradually, but sometimes they just appear. A complete knowing, a vivid sensation, or an idea that only makes sense later. They can be internal audio, mental imagery, subtle body sensations, or symbolic impressions. You may not know what it means right away. That's common and it's okay, and it's actually part of the fun. Your mind is giving you raw material, and your job is to notice it, track it, and refine it over time. A few traps to watch out for: ignoring an impression because it seems weird, or believing everything automatically without observation. The sweet spot is discern, observe, and track outcomes. Treat it like a skill. Every impression is a data point, and over time, you get sharper. Here's where it gets good. Let's talk about exercises for each type of cognitive perception. And these are the methods I found effective for myself and for other people who take their perception seriously. Visual imagers strengthen their perception by actively working on the mind's eye. A simple way to train this is to reconstruct objects or scenes in your mind every day, and each time add more detail. And don't just see the object, but notice the texture, the lighting, and the depth. If you want to go further, this is where tools like the gateway tapes or layered frequency tracks can help. And they can make those internal visuals feel more vivid, more responsive, almost like the scene starts to evolve on its own. For me, this really sharpened when I started paying attention to subtle color shifts and fine textures. It's not the big obvious images that build a skill, it's the tiny details. For auditory perceivers, it's less about images and more about internal sound, tone, cadence, and subtle impressions. One of the most effective things you can do is start recording what you notice. As soon as something comes through, write it down or even say it out loud onto a note or a recorder, and then go back and compare it later. And over time, you're going to start to notice patterns. And if you want to refine it further, layered frequencies can help bring out these subtle tonal differences, things you might normally overlook. I've personally noticed that my mind picks up shifts in tone and rhythm that normally would go unnoticed, and tracking those over time is what builds trust in that channel. This channel is all about the body. The way you strengthen it is by slowing down enough to actually feel what is happening internally. Start by scanning your body for subtle sensations, tightness, warmth, shifts in pressure, and then begin noticing how those sensations correlate with your environment or your own impressions. To deepen it, slow, deliberate movements can be incredibly powerful. Moving with awareness creates a feedback loop between sensation and perception. And for me, this really developed when I started paying attention to micro sensations during slow movement. It's where impressions start to show up right before they even form into thoughts. This is one that often gets labeled as precognition, but it's really about recognizing patterns across time. And the best way to strengthen this is to track things, events, behaviors, outcomes, and keep a record of and watch how the momentum builds. And just as important, pause before interpreting what you're seeing. Let the pattern reveal itself over time instead of jumping to conclusions too quickly. Personally, I tend to see momentum in events before others do, and by watching how things actually unfold, I train my sense of probability and timing in a really grounded way. This channel works a little differently. It's not just about patterns, it's about sensing potential paths. You can train this by mentally projecting scenarios forward and then noticing how they feel, Some paths will feel lighter, more aligned, and others will feel heavier or off. And the key is to track those impressions and compare them with what actually happens. Over time, your accuracy sharpens. For me, this has become one of the most interesting parts of the practice, being able to sense the difference between higher and lower paths. It's almost like seeing potential timelines and layers, each with a different quality to it. Some people don't just operate on one channel, they receive information across multiple. And if that's you, the goal is to start identifying which channel an impression came through at first. Was it visual, auditory, a feeling? And from there, you can practice isolating each one and combining them intentionally. Using different tools like journaling, voice notes, or even sketching can help you map those impressions more clearly. For me, mapping across channels reveals consistencies I would have missed otherwise. It's like connecting the dots in real time. No matter which channel you use, the real progress comes from three things: observing, recording, and comparing over time. And that is where the skill actually builds. Tools like gateway tapes can help you focus and notice more subtle signals. And layered frequency work like Ridos and Phi Tribe can sometimes nudge your mind into recognizing patterns you may not have picked up on otherwise. And those are here on YouTube, and I'll leave some links in the description. But ultimately, this is something that you develop by working with it. So go play with it, test it, track it, and honestly, just nerd out with it. That's all I got. See you guys later.